new Mercedes-Benz has just arrived in South Africa. It's called the E43 AMG 4Matic. It has a twin-turbo V6 engine, all-wheel drive, and this particular one is black. It also has a price.
Using the handy Cars.co.za app, which you can download by clicking this link here, I've compared the new E43 to the BMW 540i, which is the hottest 5 Series you can buy in South Africa at the moment, and the Jaguar XFS, which is a cracking car with a lovely V6 engine. And we find that the price of the E43 is 1.17 million, which is 100,000 Rand more than the 540 and 100,000 Rand less than the Jaguar XFS. But who am I kidding? No one cares about the prices of these cars. Let's get on with it. First things first, and the cabin of this E-Class makes a particularly good impression. This is just about the epitome of luxury and tech that you can get in a modern motor car. There's a massive screen which dominates the dashboard in front of me, and to be honest, I'm battling to tell what they've changed in here from the S-Class. It's that good. And the seats, those sport seats, they look the part too, but Mercedes-Benz says that they're covered in man-made leather. And I don't know, but if I was spending over R1 million on a car, I'd kind of want my leather to come from, you know, a cow. And I feel like the E43 is the kind of car you drive if you're in middle management in the mafia. You know, because the big brass, they're in the S65s. And the thing is, being involved in organized crime can be quite stressful. So you'll be glad to know that in eco mode, with the suspension and comfort, it is quite calm in here, very quiet. But it's not as serene as an E-Class can be. I know it can be better because the other E-Classes I've driven have the best ride quality that I think I've ever experienced in a car. And I think on the E43 it's ruined a bit by the big 20-inch wheels and the 35 profile tires. That's very low. So it sends a lot of the bumps and the ruts of the road through the cabin. As you can see, I'm sort of bouncing around a bit. This road is pretty bumpy though. But if you want serenity from your E-Class, well then just buy an E200 and use the money you've saved on spa days. No, you buy an AMG because you like hot sauce on your chicken wings. You buy an AMG because you want an engine that breathes fire. So let's find out what it's like. But and actually, hang on. Before we do that, I'm just gonna pull over here. Just hang on, just bear with me, because I'm finding the dials a bit boring, and I know I can change them. So let's quickly go. So I'm on progressive now. Let's go into sport. So that's very nice, very yellow, very sporty. That's very good. But I want my AMG performance information as well. There we go. Now I can see boost and oil temperature and that sort of thing. That's what I want. Good. Heads up display. Yeah, that's good. Showing me my revs. But we're in eco mode. Okay, so we're going to need to get out of eco mode. Let's flick it into sport plus. Right, there we go. Gearbox, suspension, steering, all in sport mode. That's very good. That's what we're looking for. Okay, right, we can go now. We're good. Okay. And foot flat. There we go. That is, well, as soon as it gets into the right gear, that is instantaneous power. Very nice. 295 kilowatts, 520 Newton meters from that twin turbo V6 in front of me. And that means this car can get from 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds, which is faster than the Beemer and faster than the Jag. And that makes sense because it is more powerful than both of those cars. But of course, that acceleration figure, that's helped by the all-wheel drive, the 4Matic system. And to be honest, I'm very glad that I have four-wheel drive in this car. A couple of years ago, I drove the previous generation E43 AMG, and that was rear wheel drive, and that thing just felt like it was trying to commit suicide and take me with it. And the thing is, big saloons with big power, they can be really intimidating, but this just isn't. And I'm really impressed with such a big car. It feels light on its feet. It's hiding its weight really well, and I think that's down to the active suspension system. Mercedes says the 4Matic system is designed to send most of its power to the rear. 69% of the power will actually be sent to the rear axle in normal conditions. So it should be a bit oversteery, and I reckon if Ashley Oldfield was here, maybe, and he was on a racetrack, he could get it to oversteer. But on public roads with tourists in front of me, that's not really my vibe. Power is sent to all four corners via a 9-speed G-tronic gearbox. 9 speeds, that's a lot. And I had this problem in the Lexus LC500, which has 10 speeds, and you just kind of get lost, you know, like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, then you can finally go into the corner. But Mercedes-Benz say that they've really worked on this box. They've specifically tuned it for the E43. So let's flick it into manual mode. And the nice thing is that in my heads-up display, there's a very big, clear number telling me what gear I'm in. So flick it down. Let's flick down into 4th. Get through this corner. Flick down into 3rd. Bang up a gear. This is a very fast box. There's also a very bumpy road. But the cool thing is that when I get near the red line, the whole heads-up display turns yellow and then red, telling me, shift, you idiot, shift. This is a good box. Very quick. I wish it kind of punched me a little bit more on the upshift, especially when I'm in Sport Plus mode. I just want to bang, feel that gear a little bit. But other than that, you can really take control of what this car's doing. Nice, very nice. And then of course there is the sound. I really like the sound of this new Mercedes V6. We experienced it first in the C43 Cabriolet, and I think for the C-Class it's probably been tuned to be a little bit louder. In here it's a bit more reserved, and I kind of wish it wasn't. I just want 10% more. Just give me 10% more volume. But it does pop and bang on the overrun and make that kind of boop, 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 boop sound when you're slowing down. It's a properly sweet engine to listen to. I really enjoy the split personality of this car. And in 1 minute it's a big serious saloon, and then flick a few buttons and it lets you know that it really wants to have fun. It's kind of like finding out that your librarian goes to trance parties. Ultimately, this is a large car. In fact, it's less than 20 centimeters shorter than a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and it's just as wide. And that means you get a massive boot, decent rear space, 4 proper doors, and a very spacious cabin full with tech. But the thing about Mercedes-Benz's infotainment system is that for a long time, I thought it was rubbish. And that's because it used to drive me mad. Even simple things like changing from AM to FM just used to take me forever. But now they have improved it. They really have refined it. I'm finding this version a lot easier to use. I can flick over to AM really easily, and that's important because I'm old now and I like listening to talk radio. But that's the thing about an infotainment system. I don't want it to make me feel doff. And if you're not part of our South African audience, it means a bit thick. You know, I don't want it to make me feel stupid. I just want it to do what I want it to do as easily as possible. And as good as this updated system is, I still think that there are a bunch of systems out there which are a lot easier to use. So get on it, Merc.
My arguments with the infotainment system aside, the interior and all of its systems are very impressive. I think this is the best interior in the segment, and thankfully it doesn't suffer from the rattles and squeaks that we've experienced in all the recent C-classes we've tested.
Every time I drive a car in the segment, I think it's the best car in the segment. I drove the Volvo S90, I loved it. I drove the Jag XF, I loved that. I drove the new BMW 5 Series, I was very impressed. And I've just finished driving this, and I'm very, very impressed. So if you're shopping in this segment, basically what you're looking for is a car which matches your personality. And in the E43, if you're willing to sacrifice a bit of comfort for performance, then I think this might just be the sweet spot in the E-Class range. And it's not as bonkers as the E63, and to be honest, I think that's a good thing.
Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love for you to join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.